Do you want to go where only aliens will find you? Then check out Croton Trail in part 5 of this Overland adventure and add it to your must-do list. When you close your eyes and picture the perfect morning on an overlanding trip, does it look anything like this? Well, it's the morning. It was actually not the best of nights. Super freaking windy. End up having to call it quits on the rooftop tent. Go sleep in the Jeep, curl up into a ball around all my junk and do my best to sleep. Like, not the greatest, but when you wake up and you see that, you really can't argue. No, it's not gonna be one of those videos where I take one more step and just I'm not there yet. But time-lapse on the sunrise is amazing. I'm sure it's gonna be like here, or you just saw it. I don't know, but about to go hit a couple more trails today. Maybe go do Coyote Gulch. It's hard to say how long it takes to get anywhere around here, but not a bad start. Not a bad start at all. Zip back down 264 to NP 230 and hang a right. While there isn't any one mind-blowing feature as this trail continues, it does consistently give you beautiful features to look at. Keep your eyes open, cause spurs like this pop up from time to time, and they are generally worth the effort to explore. Like this one, which ends up at a couple of campsites overlooking a wash. Places like this would make for a great camping option without the potential for crowds. If you have the time, unlike me, always, you could easily make NP 230 into its own trip. Usually a good rule of thumb when it comes to overlanding trips, come up with the number of days you think it'll take, then add 2. Getting out. Yeah, it looks like a bit of a wash. Heading down towards the lake way over yonder. Yeah, if you need a break, super cool place to pull over. Maybe have a drink, use the bathroom. Worth it. Besides this network of trails being an absolutely perfect example of an overlanding track, it provides an off-road connection to other destinations in Utah while saving lots of miles. Croton is a great way to get to Escalante, while I use it to eventually get to Hole in the Rock Road and Coyote Gulch. View on this part of the trail is pretty spectacular. Kind of looks up, you hit it just the wrong or right time during a rainstorm, you'd be in for a little treat. And right about here, you're leaving the Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. Just left Glen Canyon, now entering Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument. Well, looks like something big's about to happen. And no, I don't mean the plethora of Christmas lights that is a Jeep Dash. I mean the odometer down there on the right. And really, I couldn't have asked for a much better place to hit 50,000 miles than this. This is the start of Croton Road. It heads up and away from the lake onto the surrounding mesas. this would be a great option during the heat of the summer.
Well, Ranger came just in time as I was about to hit this split. Or if you go right to Grand Bench, which I have heard great things, it's a pretty long road and you end up, I think, back at the lake. Or Croton Road, which she gave me a nice handy dandy map. And also told me that it is really, really difficult and maybe I shouldn't go. And no one in the land management has run it this season. And to let the other side know if I get there, how the road conditions are. So, with that vote of confidence, and she says no one will be able to get to me, let's go tackle this. And I'm hoping it's one of those, what's hard for them is easy for me, and everything's gonna be a-okay.
It doesn't take long for the trail to start gaining some altitude. This really is an easy trail, which is probably a good thing, as you are truly in the middle of nowhere. If something was to happen, the cavalry ain't coming to save your butt.
One of the first things you come across looks like a pretty cool little wash. Assuming if you happen to make it down here during a storm, pretty cool to see. I'm hoping the GoPro on the outside is capturing these views because pretty ridiculous. So far this trail's bumpy trail, still in two-wheel drive just in the past 2 days. Not that I'm trying to accomplish anything in two-wheel drive, it just hasn't been a need to change it. If it stays like this the whole time, I'm gonna call it a win. Not, mind a little bit of a challenge here or there, but when the road's this simple, you can really just check out the views, which there is no lack of that so far. And we're only 2 miles in. I think this is 24 miles, so we have a day ahead of us. Starting to get up there. Give you an idea of where that trail goes. Some of the views. And that guy. All right, so I did put it into 4 low. Not because the road got real difficult or anything, but it's pretty steep and rocky with some steps. Nothing crazy, but 35s and stock 410 gears, it was falling right on its face. Which, yes, go re-gear it, but I gotta pick and choose where you spend that money. But that looks like it was about it. That was easy peasy.
Not that I would call this technical driving, but do yourself a favor and pay attention during the hill climbs, or you and your rig might end up on the back of a milk carton. Once you get to the top of the mesas, the trail really comes onto its own. The view really gets better and better as you go on. You start getting some plant life and the topography really changes.
Shortly after the 15-mile mark, you're going to come to this sign. Either make a hard left or a hard right. So you want to go left towards Escalante, not dead-end roads, which sounds ominous. All right, so 24.5 mile trail at the 15-mile mark. Everything was pretty mild out of 1 to 10, 3. That being said, she did say that the locals that take care of this trail call a section something like Devil's Staircase or Elevator or Devil's Butthole. I don't know. Usually if there's devil involved, could be a little bit more difficult. So we'll see how the next 9 miles or so treat us. But she said no one has been up here, and as you can see right here, those are my tracks and nobody else's. This is a pull off from the main area that's right over there. Got the Jeep actually stopping for lunch, which I am terrible at doing, so I'm glad I finally am. Some camping spots through here. Kind of high up, a little chilly, but so quiet, so beautiful. And in those 15 miles, I have seen 0 people. So if you're looking to get away and enjoy yourself and not be around others, this might be a good trail for you.
Once on top of the mesas, you get great line of sight and can really cruise if you want to. I hate to say it, but I think this is Devil's Staircase. Yes, staircase, not butthole. So unless you're driving a rental car or a Tacoma, it's for you, Mikey. I kid. You are not going to face any real issues with this trail.
All right, so here's some of the views I was expecting to see. Finally got to the top, at least top of one of the mesas, and it's looking pretty good.
This is the end of Croton Road for me, and the start of a very different trail, Left-Hand Coilette, which you will see on the next episode.
All right, so just finished the 24.5 miles, and we're at this little fork on the road. You head left, you're gonna go to Escalante. You head right, it says straight, you're gonna hole in the rock road, not trail, not the crazy hard fun one. We're gonna go that way. I think it's called like Left-Hand Coilette Road or something along those lines. I'll put it in the down here somewhere, and you guys can read about it. But yeah, it's another 10.5 miles. That 24.5 was pretty simple. You have 4-wheel drive and any kind of clearance, you can make it. I think that lady was just being cautious, which is always better. Unless she was talking about this part, which maybe she was, and I'm about to go eat my words. It's supposed to be a bit of a canyon. The view is supposed to be good. Highly recommended. So let's see how this goes.
And remember, what's your goal